gear makes a difference. I also got a new helmet, so this is a test for the audio. Don't know how it's going to turn out yet, but hopefully good. So I should start a counter for the number of people who have come up to me asking about my motorcycle, because it's about the same that have come up to me asking about my hair. So when I was 15, I wanted to work so bad. Like, my career and, you know, my professional life and work is just really important to me. And when I was younger, I just was so excited to be able to work. So when I turned 15, I was like, okay, let's get a job at McDonald's. Like, I was actually excited about that, which is something that not a lot of people are excited to work. And so, you know, I went in, I applied, I turned in my application, did the interview, and I was hired. I was filling out my paperwork, you know, to be able to get paid. And the lady was looking it over, and she saw that I was 15, and she was like, we hire 16 and up. The hiring age is 16. And I remember being so, like, just so sad and heartbroken that I couldn't work. It was so funny. So I started looking for alternatives to be able to work. And, like, guys, I have a really entrepreneurial mindset, and I've always had that. You know, I started searching for, you know, ways I could make money online. And one of those ways was Fiverr. Now, if you don't know what Fiverr is, it's like a platform where you could provide services for people for, like, I don't know, like $5. I started doing that, and I was writing music for people. And you know, this was in 2009. So I was like a middle school, high school student. And in 2009, you know, Fiverr wasn't what it is today. You know, it was like, it wasn't well known. Like, they weren't advertising or anything like that. So the market wasn't really, like, saturated. There's a bunch of geese, guys. Or there wasn't as many people working, and it was really easy to make money, and I had the skills to do it. So I was like, why not do it? You know, I ended up making like $2,000. So when my parents came at me with that, you have to go to college crap, which I understand. Because as a generational thing, like, they grew up in a time when, you know, black people either couldn't afford to go to college or they weren't allowed to. And so I understood that, why they put such a high value on that kind of thing. But at the same time, like, you know, I realized that it wasn't something that I actually wanted to do. And I was 17. You know, most people, when they graduate high school, they are 18. I was a little bit younger than other people in my class. So, you know, I was 17, and I didn't turn 18 until after my first year of college. And so, you know, I had no choice. I went, and I knew if I was gonna go, I wanted to, you know, major in something that was fun, which is why I ended up majoring in video. Like, that was my sole purpose for majoring in that. I'm actually pretty grateful, because I know that they had my best interest in mind, but it was just something that, you know, was hanging over my head because I accrued so much debt from going to college, and I wasn't smart about my money because, you know, it just cost so much. Like, there was no way to supplement that at such a low wage. So, you know, the choice to go to grad school, now by grad school I got really smart. I was like, we're not doing that. So I actually have no debt from grad school, which is crazy, because I worked all the way through that with like 2-3 jobs at the time, like, constantly. So luckily I don't have any debt from that. You know, when I was in high school, I used to always, like, walk around being like, I don't want to work in an office. Like, you're not going to get me to work in an office. There's no way anyone can get me to work in an office. I did work in an office for a limited amount of time. But this is where, like, the law of attraction and manifestation comes, because, like, you know, when I was working in an office and I knew that I didn't want to be there, you know, I didn't stop and give up and be like, fine, I guess I have to do this for the rest of my life to survive. It wasn't like that. It was more like, okay, I don't want to work in an office. I'm not going to settle. I'm going to keep going and, you know, make my reality happen, make what I want to happen. And so I ended up doing that. Oh, shit. Stop. Oh. Just keeping on what I wanted to actually do. And I did it, you know? ended up getting really lucky. And when I say lucky, I mean I manifested that crap and was able to get a job, you know, doing what I wanted to do, and actually working from home, which is crazy, right? I've been working from home for 5 years pre-COVID because I got a job in St. Louis that allowed me to work from home. So like when COVID hit, it hardly affected me. And you know, I had dreamt about that type of thing, being able to like just work in my own space, be my own boss, set my own hours in one space where I could pull it out. And now that I have done that, I'm ready to move on to my next thing, the next thing that I've always dreamt that I wanted to do. And you know, that's travel. You know, it's really weird doing my audio live because I've never done it live before. And so like just the coordination that comes with like paying attention to what's going on outside of it and also recording and paying attention to your thoughts, like it's a whole nother thing. That's why I'm doing this first time in like a park, you know, before I go out there on the street, because the street is a little bit more intense. So I've studied a lot of like Abraham Hicks's work, talking about, you know, the secret and manifestation, law of attraction, and you know, how to create your own reality. And it's not so much about like whatever happens to you or, you know, the stuff that you go through. It's not about that. It's more about how you react to, you know, really tough situations, and not even tough situations, because sometimes tough situations actually end up being the best blessings of your life. So like, it's how you look at it, and it's how you view it. I might just be rambling. My thoughts are not as well thought out, but like, this is the type of stuff that I just constantly research and study. But it was because even though my reality reflected something, I had the ability to imagine something else and actually 100% believe that I could do it. That's the key thing. Is you know, if you don't 100% believe that something can happen, it's not going to happen. And that's why I like, you know, watching like Disney shows and like fun stuff, and like really cool stuff, because like when you have the mind of a kid, you know, when you go through life with the intention to learn and explore and you know, kind of just like let life lead you, which I think many adults don't really, you know, they fall off of once they get older, and they lose that kind of like passion. You know, when you go through life like a kid, and you know, just wanting to have fun and experience, and not stressed out about all the stuff that, you know, society says you need to be worried about, you know, it's a lot more enjoyable. It's a lot more fun. And you know, in all those shows, the common theme is your dreams can come true. All you have to do is believe, you know? Believe in the possibility that anything can happen. And that's a thing. That's a real thing. People, especially adults, like write it off as like it's just this magical thing that your imagination and it's never gonna happen. And that's why so many people are not happy with their lives, because they don't believe that it could get better. Mind is really powerful. Really powerful. That's why your thoughts and how you think and how you approach things can affect how you go through something like that. Okay, I'm getting better at this. This is a really good practice, actually. It's funny, I don't really like talking about my astrology chart. You know, because of my placements, I'm a really secretive person, even though I don't really need to be. But I like my personal stuff, I don't like putting out there. But because I have a midheaven in the 10th house. I mean, my 10th house midheaven is in a sign that's like about transformation and birth and death, and, you know, reinventing yourself, which is something that I've had to do my whole life. And so it kind of just comes naturally to me once I go through really hard stuff. You know, it's part of my life path, I believe, to share this stuff and share my experience and show people that, yo, you can actually go through life happy. It doesn't have to be this torturous thing of, I'm just surviving to survive. I'm just living to pay my bills. I'm just living to, you know, take care of my family. You know, you can actually enjoy it. And like, I don't mean like enjoy it like, okay, I'm gonna be static for my whole life and stay in the same place and not explore because I can't financially. It's like, no, if you want that shit, make it happen. Like, you have the control to make it happen. You just have to take small steps in order to do that. So that's just something that I think is really important. It's all good.